We build everything by ourselves. We have our garden. We try to show self-sufficiency and sustainability is possible. Our main goal is training and training people and learning. So we created this Mega-Yurt. It's basically the accumulation of everything that we have learned and the combination of techniques into one building. We are a cat sanctuary. We are taking care of a lot of cats and they take care of us. This one is a solar shower. It's very typical in Greece, using a solar heater to heat water. And this one is a wood shower. So you burn wood to heat up the water. We are adding also a cellar. I use this space to keep cool a lot of fruit and veggies and other stuff. I was a web designer and I decided to quit everything and come and create this project here 15 years ago. It was the best decision I ever made.
Imagine a world in harmony with nature, with others, and with ourselves. A world where people are nourished by diversity and beauty. Do you believe it can exist? Utopia. Discovering dreams that are reality.
Hi, what's your name?
I am Apostolos. We are in North Evia, in one of our locations here. We are running a school of sustainability and self-sufficiency. We are here 15 years and we are in a Yokabos village. My dream is included in the title of this project. The project is called Free and Real, which is an acronym. It means freedom of resources for everyone, everywhere, respect, equality, awareness and learning. This is the first yurt we ever built 15 years ago. It wasn't in this location. It was in another spot in the land. And we combined many different set of instructions we'd found online. We didn't know how to make yurts. We made it, but of course we did many mistakes because we didn't know how to build yurts. But this showed us how we can improve the techniques. 2 years ago, we had to take it down from where it was because of the many mistakes we did, bring it here and upgrade it. So we tried to make it as traditional as possible. We did a crowdfunding campaign from the grandmas of the village and we gathered all these fabrics you see and to give it like a more traditional look. So everything you see, we built it from scratch, like all the parts of the yurt. And even though it's 15-year-old structure, it's still serving us. After the upgrades we did a couple of years ago, we added a window, better insulation and everything. It's still around. I grew up in Athens. Growing up in the city, always something felt wrong. There was a void inside of me. I was a web designer for many years, working in front of a screen for endless hours and feeling empty inside. And I decided to quit everything and come and create this project here 15 years ago. It was the best decision I ever made. This is the Cuckoo yurt. It's the second yurt we ever made. The initial goal was to show that you can make a yurt for a family. That was the initial goal. So it had a toilet, it had a space for stuff, it had a kitchen counter there. And we wanted to show that you can make a yurt for a family. But as we started progressing and seeing, okay, we need more spaces to host people during the entire year, we decided to convert it into like a bunk bed space, and we can host 15 people here. When we first arrived here, it was only olive trees and lots of wild, taking over everything in between the olive trees. Yeah, since then, we are trying to convert it into a food forest. We are constantly planting as many trees as possible because we are also at sea level here, so we cannot plant everything we would like. Initially, we want to create an eco-community, but soon after we realize we don't have the knowledge to do it, so we decided to change the goal and make it into a school in order to train ourselves and other people. Through this process, maybe we would be able to create an actual eco-community. 15 years later, we are still training under the 4 major subjects that we are dealing with, which is eco-building, energy, health and body, and permaculture and natural farming, stuff like that. So under these 4 major categories, we do many different workshops and seminars. We're collaborating with schools, with universities. We do trainings. We bring volunteers long-term or short-term. So this is the structure I'm using the last 3 years. It's on an olive tree that was not producing olives for many years. So we decided to put a treehouse on it. And let me show you. Just go in by yourself. We didn't buy anything to build this house. That was the goal, like try to build something from scrap wood. And the very weird part of it is this roof. It's like an upside down boat. And it was very hard to do, and I'm not doing it again. But it's fun. We started with yurts, and slowly we started combining the yurt, the circular building, with cob techniques, building with cob. Here there are more than 12 buildings, maybe more, that combine these 2 techniques, and all of them are different with each other. Every time we will make a new building here, that's why here it's called the test site, we try to make something different to see if it works. So here we had the need for a big space to be able to run workshops and seminars during the winter months. So we created this Mega-Yurt. It's basically the accumulation of everything that we have learned and the combination of techniques into one building. We want to see how big and how fast and how efficient we could make a building, and this is the result. The total area of this building is 120 square meters, and the basic structure took us only 20 days to do it. Then, of course, we did many workshops and seminars in order to complete it. And one of the things that we're very proud of is this rocket mass heater that we have in the center. So this is a rocket mass heater. It's one of the best things we ever made here. It works really well. You can do research about rocket mass heaters. It's one of the most efficient heaters you can build. And basically this entire thing works like a heat source. The pipe travels inside these cob vents, and cob traps the heat and keeps it in the space for much more time. And yeah, we are very proud of this construction. It works really well in the winter. In half an hour, 45 minutes, the cob bench starts being heated, so you can sit on it, lie on it, and also basically this entire thing becomes a heater for the space. Here we have a tiny balcony inside the trees for people to chill out, sit and read. It's connected with a Mega-Yurt. Yeah, that's it. It's a chill-out area. Up here there is also a chill-out area. And if you go further up, it's like a tiny observatory with a tiny balcony where you can see all the way to the sea. So this building has 4 levels total. That's why it reaches the 120 square meters total area. We love combining specific cob techniques with circular design. We love the circular design of buildings for many reasons. And we mostly do those now. But again, each building that we make here, each new building, has to have something new tested. That's why we call it the test site here, doing experiments constantly. We've tried also some square ones, some tiny houses, tree houses, pods, many different ones. Yeah. This is our living room. Again, most of the walls are cob or the technique I mentioned with waving bamboos and cob. And yeah, it's a chill out space. In the winter, we are trapped in here a lot of hours in the day. We have this tiny stove here, which is more than enough for the winter. And also our main kitchen is connected to this space. So when we are trapped with rain, we all day cook and we spend the time here. We play board games. Everything belongs to Free and Real, which is a non-profit company. And everything belongs to Free and Real, not individual ownership. What we tried to do was to apply the scientific method on decision making. So our idea is bringing all the data you can gather in the table with the people that are making the decision. And if everything is there clear, then the decision is being made by itself. So if everyone is on the same page, we all have a specific goal. Let's say build something to service 10 people for X amount of time, and we have these resources and so on. So if everyone's on the same page and you bring all the data, basically the decision is being made by itself. This is our the tower, we call it. It was built 9 years ago. Back then we didn't have space. We had only the tiny piece of land and we decided to go up. So we combined yurt and co-building techniques, and we made the base from cob and the top from wood. And it's the space where the long-term volunteers stay. Like even in the winter, it's a very nice and warm environment because it's very good insulated. And on the bottom of this tower, we have our common kitchen. So here is the common kitchen where the visitors use, where we serve the food. We wanted to show with this one different cob techniques. So in these 6 walls, we have 4 different ways of building. For example, the walls behind me, these 2, are made from pure cob, building only with cob. Very slow process, very efficient, but very slow, takes a lot of time. In the wall there, we want to show how you could use wood to speed up the process instead of constantly having to make cob. So maybe, for example, you have access to lots of wood where you are. So we put entire logs inside the cob. These 2 walls, we want them to be straight. The other ones are curved. We want them to be straight in order to put the windows. So we did straw clay technique, where you compress straw inside a wooden frame and then you pass it with a thin layer of cob. Just as a comparison, these 2 walls took us only 2 weeks to complete, and the 2 cob walls took us 3 months. And also here, we added the recycled glass bottles, which is a very nice way to put light inside and decorate. We produce our own energy. We have our own water well. Of course, we build everything by ourselves. We have our garden. We try to show self-sufficiency and sustainability is possible, and constantly trying to scale it up. But at the same time, we are not obsessed with this. We don't want to devote all of our time to that. Our main goal is training and training people and learning. This is a totally off-grid space. When people come here, we explain this and they have to respect the way they are consuming and everything. This one is a solar shower. It's very typical in Greece, using a solar heater to heat water. And this one is a wood shower. So you burn wood to heat up the water. If we have sun, we use the solar. If we don't have sun, we use the wood. We have a water filtering system. The water from the washing area first comes to this spot where we planted these bamboos. Bamboos grow their roots parallel to the ground, so this creates a filtering layer. And then we have many layers of stone under. Then this connects with the second bamboo filtering area, and then after the water is filtered there, it goes to the garden and it waters the garden. So here is 3 of our compost toilets, typical composting toilets with a small bucket under that we empty in the compost bins. The food, we have a good level of production of food, especially when we are less people, because the team constantly changes in number. Also, we have a second location where we are trying to make a food forest. In that area, we have around 500 fruit trees right now, many different varieties of fruits and nuts. Also, we have access to endless olive trees here in the area. It's one of the main resources here. And again, some years, maybe we'll produce enough olive oil for the entire year, maybe sometimes no. This is a solar dehydrator. We can put inside sun-dried tomatoes and fruits, stuff like that. And with the power of the sun, you dehydrate them and you keep them for a longer time. And this one here is a solar oven where you can cook with the power of the sun. We've made many through the years. Also, we show them in workshops when we do energy and do-it-yourself technologies. We usually build stuff like that, pedal power washing machines, solar heaters, solar speakers, many things like that. This is the construction site of the new kitchen we are building, because from the beginning of this project we always had space issues. When you have to cook for 50 people for a training, it's not easy. So finally we are making the dream come true of a proper big kitchen. And we are adding also a cellar. So we dug 2 meters in the ground and we were going to use this space to keep cool a lot of fruit and veggies and other stuff. Even though we have electricity from our solar panels and a pretty good fridge, the space, of course, is never enough if you have to feed 50 people. That's why we decided to make this cellar of waving the bamboos and then adding cob from the outside and the inside. This specific technique for Greece and maybe the Mediterranean climate, for me, I've seen it work. And it's very fast and pretty easy to do. And that's why we have used it a lot. We have used it a lot the last years. We use the European Solidarity Corps program, which will bring volunteers for short and long term, and also the Erasmus youth trainings. Apart from that, we also run the seminars and workshops. We try to do as many as possible per year. This one is our open space, again where we run the seminars that involve exercising, yoga, Thai massage, stuff like that, and it's summer months we use this space. This is another new experiment here. It's called the Diamond House. The idea is to put climbing plants on the roof, so at the end it will be totally covered with plants. That is the idea. So around the hexagon, everywhere, plants that will climb and create a better green roof. The last 5 years we've established visiting windows, we call them, for people to visit. In general, we suggest to people it's much better for the first visit to come in a seminar or a workshop because it's more organized and more structured, and also you will learn most of the things and what free and real is, like in a weekend or a 10-day seminar. Here is our compost temple where we do all the composting. We are constantly moving around the compost bins. Now we have found a permanent location for them that it makes sense. And yeah, we do all the composting here, from human manure, organic, citrus, everything. Free and Real, through these years, has established a huge extended family, we call it. There's like more than 500 people that come and go for shorter or longer visits. Or for example, if we need help for a bigger project, we will address this group and we'll say, we need some more hands, come over. So now we are in the second location of Free and Real that we are developing. We want to get a really big piece of land to make the initial dream come true. We want to make a food forest, and inside this food forest to develop a community. The idea is this place here to become more an intentional community, and the place in Ayokabos to be the school as it is. Behind me you see the Godzilla yurt, as we call it. It's the biggest yurt we ever made. It's a straw bale yurt, straw bale construction. We started building it almost 1 year ago. In a few days it will be 1 year ago. And we plan to finish it by the end of October, that is coming. And it's 100 square meters. And it will work as the center hub of the community. This is the idea behind it. Also here we have compost toilets. We have a tiny supporting space for kitchen, and we are building a new kitchen. Here is the location we used to do the festivals. So yeah, even though it looked crazy, 300 people were having amazing time here for 3 to 5 days. I hope more people will decide to escape the city life race and go closer to nature and try to regenerate the environment for humans and animals. Yeah, this is my hope. The more people make this decision, the easier it would be to transition to a more sustainable way of life. Viva, viva!
Utopia. Discovering dreams that are reality.